Hi everybody, Jill the Bookworm here, and it is day 7 of the reading rush. I am so excited to be here, and I'm really excited with all the progress I've made, and I'm really excited to have participated as much as I did. I plan on spending a whole bunch of my day outside. I'm going to be lounging around outside finishing Haunting Violet. I am 31% of the way done with Haunting Violet. So I have about 200 more pages to go, which is super doable for me to read today. Actually, this book goes by pretty fast. What my plan is to read in 2-hour stints. So I'm going to go out there with my water bottle. I'm also going to make sure that I put on suntan lotion and just relax outside. It's going to be wonderful and I can't wait. So Haunting Violet is about a girl named Violet. It takes place in about the late 1800s. I believe is what it said, or middle 1800s, like 1860. So her mom is like a fake medium and pretends that she can talk to ghosts and stuff, but her daughter actually can talk to ghosts. And so she's like realizing that she can actually talk to ghosts, and she's talking to this one dead girl and finds out that like she's trying to figure out like who killed her and what happened. It's a really interesting story so far, and it's super quick. I'm really happy that I left this book for last, because just how fast it's going. I also, so when it was time to come inside, I read a whole bunch of Axis Powers of Hetalia. I got through most of the way through it. I only have like a little bit more to go. And so my plan is to finish this book outside ultimately. That's like the big goal. But my other goal is to finish this book, this manga, and then also read this manga. So if I can, if I do that today, I'm happy. So I would like to do the question of the day, the last question of the day for this reading rush. And that question is, what book do you wish would be made into a movie or a show? I have a couple ideas so far. So I already have a few ideas of books that probably will be made into a show or a movie. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is 100% going to be made into a movie. It's a Hunger Games prequel, so I already can tell that it's going to be made into a movie. More recently, I think that of the books that I've read recently, I think that Children of Blood and Bone, the one that I just finished, is 100% going to be made into a trilogy series for the movies. It has that character building, and honestly, I cannot wait for it. It's going to be so amazing. I mean, the third book isn't even out yet, so I think that that's something that's going to be happening in the future, and I'm here for it. And the last book that I think really needs to be made into a movie, they actually started making it into a movie, and that's Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. That movie was so magical, and so it just had all the elements that would make a really, really great like fantasy mystical movie. And I just looked it up on my phone because I wasn't sure if it actually was made into a movie. They started making it into a movie in 2013, and I don't think it ever got released. I don't think they continued making it. So, please continue making it, guys. like, this needs to happen. This would make a fantastic movie. For those of you who don't know, Neil Gaiman is the same guy who wrote Stardust. This needs to happen. Anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up my little area outside. I will check back in a little bit and let you know how I'm doing. But yeah, I think for today I'm just going to relax. I know that I'm probably going to get this done, and I just want to wish everybody luck. It's been a really fun time, and I hope you guys have had fun too. Hello again, BookTube. It is now 4:30. I have now finished my dinner, lunch type meal, and I just wanted to update you on my progress for Haunting Violet. So, as I've been reading this since about 12:30. When I stopped at 3, I was at 53%. I have been reading this book entirely outside. I found a nice little patch of grass, and it has like a wind tunnel type thing. It's right next to like this little like natural park. It is right next to a sidewalk, but I mean, I've seen people lounging around on their lawns like in this little like area between the sidewalk and the street. So I'm not really in the way of anybody, which is really nice. And there's this nice like breeze that comes in because it is a hot one out today. But yeah, I am currently reading Haunting Violet on my Kindle, and it's pretty good. It's interesting because it's set in a different time period. So there's a lot of focus on like trying to find like a possible husband, even though she's only 16. There's a lot of pressure from other people as to like that being her sole focus, which is understandable considering like her best friend is like, she's kind of like it's really interesting because her best friend is like a sharp contrast to her. Her best friend is like super pretty and she's kind of like plump, and her entire like focus on everything is finding a man, finding the right man. Violet is not about that. Violet's like, she thinks what her mom does is just poppycock, and she thinks her mom's full of crap, and she just knows that she doesn't want that life for herself, but she also doesn't want a man to come in and like rescue her. Like she thinks that that's like her only option though, and so she's kind of like forcing herself to kind of be interested in this this Xavier guy. I think she's actually like engaged with him, but she's also has secret feelings for her childhood friend Colin, who she basically grew up with. It's really interesting, like the relationship between her and Xavier and her and Colin. Her and Colin, obviously, they're like stereotypical childhood friends. They pick on each other, but there's definitely some feelings there. But she feels way more comfortable with Colin than Xavier. They're still in their courtship phase. But she's really like pressured by her mom to fit into this high-bred society, even though they are not high-bred. They are actually rather poor. And she feels embarrassed for her mother because her mother kind of goes over the top. She dresses, it's described that her mother dresses way too young for her age and goes and flirts with guys who are way too young for her, and she kind of acts extremely immature. And here's Violet just like trying to basically appease like the people around her so that she doesn't make her family look bad, but she's also trying to like appease her mom, who has also very strict like regulations, and even though she thinks she knows what society's about, she actually doesn't. But Violet's also trying to figure out what happened to this girl. This girl is haunting her, and she knows now that somebody's killed her. Somebody's killed her, and that person is at this party. But, you know, since Violet, like, it's hard to talk to the dead, this girl's not able to really communicate. She's in this state where she looks like she did when she died, and when she died, she was underwater. So the only thing that she really can do is send Violet flashes of, like, the night that she died, and also, like, water. So it's really interesting. I have some suspicions as to who it might be. It might be the sister. It's kind of like pointing towards that. It also might be there's a couple other suspicious characters in here that the author's kind of like leading us to those characters being suspicious. So we shall see. I still think that I can get this book done. I definitely think I can get this book done tonight. My biggest concern is, can I get this book done completely outside? That is my biggest question. I am hoping so. I hope that I can just breeze right through it. I got through 76 pages in 2 hours. And so I think if I go out there now, it's 4:30, and if I stay out there till about 7 or 8, I might be able to finish this book out there. So I'll check back in with you probably in a couple of hours. I'll check back in either 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on how focused I am in the book. And I'm just really excited to have gotten my goal done. I know that I'm going to finish this book tonight, whether it's inside or outside. Another option I have is right outside. If it starts to get too dark, there's this little barren patch of dirt right outside my front door that has like a tree stump in front of it. So if I'm really desperate, I can set up my yoga mat right out there and have it be that way. I'm like closer to my house as soon as it starts getting kind of darker out. So that is the plan. That's the plan. I'm ready, and I'm having fun. I'm not rushing through this book, but I'm having an enjoyable time. I'll check back in a few hours. In the meantime, good luck, guys. You guys are doing it, and I hope that you guys are being successful. Good evening, BookTube. So, it is just past 3:30, and I am getting really close to being done. I am at 86% and 87% in Haunting Violet, and it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely paranormal and suspenseful, and it's not quite what I thought it would be. I think that I expected a little less drama between the people. But I think it's like trying to combine like that 1830s genre of, you know, it has a very Jane Austen feel to it, of that time period of, oh, I gotta get married, and I've gotta get married soon, and I gotta make sure it's the right guy, and that's like the focus. While our main character is coming to terms with her abilities, and she's at first she cared about finding a decent husband, and then she became, like, as the ghosts become more persistent, she's like, wow, I can actually do something to help these people move on. Like what my mom does, she's a crackpot, she hurts people, but like I could really do something. So she decides to actually like delve into being a medium, and she really wants to get to the bottom of this mystery. As with all mysteries of when there's a murder that's been done, we all go for the whodunit. And I have my theories. The book was like making it seem as if one guy was supposed to be, I think it's like Mr. Willerby or something like that, some old-fashioned name like that. But honestly, and I also thought that maybe it was the girl's sister. She has a younger sister who is destined to inherit her entire fortune now that her sister's dead. So there's two suspects, but it could also definitely be there's the man that she loved, who he's just super suspicious, and he's been following basically this main character and like what she's been up to throughout this entire thing. And at first, I suspected that it was because he was trying to stop them from finding anything out, but now I'm thinking that maybe he's trying to help her. So at first I thought that Lord Willoughby or something like that was the one who killed Rowena, but I don't think so anymore. It turns out that he's actually like, they were going to elope together because they love each other, which is really strange, because I think that he's older, or maybe he's younger and he's just like decrepit and, no, I think that's what it is. I think that he's younger, but he's like so disheveled from this whole ordeal that he looks older. And they were not allowed to get together because she was from a very well-to-do class and he was not. I think he was a porter or something like that, and they were going to run off to Paris. So that is also a possibility. That I don't think he's the killer. I don't think he's the killer. I think her sister's guilty, to be honest, because her sister's been very much absent from a lot of things. She has this attitude. She's a very ugly character. But again, a lot of things kind of point towards her as well. I think it's either going to be the sister or somebody we completely didn't suspect. And the motives isn't going to be clear. So that's kind of how these types of novels go. So I'm going to... It's going towards 8, so I don't want to be where I'm at. I don't want to be in that little patch of grass that I was, because it's right next to a busy street. So what I'm going to do instead is that there's this little barren piece of dirt right outside my door, and so I'm going to take a blanket and my yoga mat out there and finish this book. I'm really excited to, actually really accomplish the reading rush this year. Like, I'm super excited. I'm really excited to have made it this far, and I'm really excited to be a part of this. I will check back in with you